What is going on, guys? HappiDaze here. In today's video, we are going over some more accessible teams for this treasure map, Zoro. So I posted the video earlier today on the My Teams, which had almost a full boosted batch that I will be using, but I want to do some teams for you guys as well that didn't feature any of the new boosted batch or any of the New Year's Legends, just to make it a little bit easier in case you didn't have any luck on pulling. So let's go ahead and dig right into my teams, and I'll kind of show you what we're doing. So for the first team versus speed, the gimmicks you have to kind of watch out for are this chain boundary that gives you 99% attack down, a stun, and burn. Those are kind of really the three big debuffs there. So I'm using Jinbei to take care of the chain boundary there. I'm going to be using the Robin character here to be able to have the support chopper, which will end up cutting HP at the final stage, which should help take care of that stun effect. And then lastly, I'm using the Rebecca and Viola here to go ahead and remove the burn that is there. The last character at the bottom here, I'm just using as a stat booster. And because he was quick, he had the advantage against speed in terms of the type advantage. So that is why I put him there, but he's completely interchangeable. And that will take care of speed pretty easily and pretty quickly. For Carrot, we're going to go ahead and use Black Bear as our captain, mostly because he gets special cooldown as well as being able to power up a lot of the powerhouse, which a lot of our team is, which is great. So you can see here, she has a 5-turn Special Bind, a 8-turn Despair, a 5-turn Paralysis, and a lot of block orbs. So the good news for us here, and this is kind of why I went with the powerhouse team, is because this Akainu unit actually takes care of most of those debuffs. So if you take a quick look, he can take care of the Paralysis and Special Bind by 6 turns, and he also changes the block slots to Strength. So he takes care of 3 of those gimmicks just himself. And I'm basically using then the Crocodile there, who has type advantage versus Carrot, to go ahead and remove 5 turns of Despair. With the additional slots, it'll bring it down to 0, and it'll be nice and easy to kind of get through that stage. So pretty comfortably, we can kind of get through Carrot without too much problems there. When we get to Neko, my team hasn't really changed much here from what I did earlier, mostly because a lot of those units I used earlier were units that have showed up in shops or in Pirate Rumble, so you should have copies. So that's the kind of the critical units for this team are really the Corazon and the Kid. So the Kid will help with Paralysis. He'll help with the special bot, the slot change there. He'll turn him into Super Bomb, which is awesome. And then he'll also help on the death hit that Neko does to make sure you don't die there. Corazon will help out with the attack down as well as some of the Paralysis, and he has a couple other stuff that he does here. But like I said, the main thing that we're using him for is the attack down 3 turns that he does there. Yeah, so like I said, just those 2 units take care of most of these different debuffs. The Corazon actually helps take the Despair too. It'll reduce it down to 3 turns, and then you can use slots to just get the other 3. So it's a really simple team. Takes him down really good, helps survive the death hit, and like I said, I tried to build these teams without support, so that way if you want to add more damage dealers or chain multiplier boosts or things like that, you have a lot of flexibility in who you can add as the supports here. Moving on to the third fight, we're going to go ahead and fight Robin and Jinbei. So this is a team that took a little bit of jigging around to get it to work, but ultimately I did. So the big thing to look out for is the Fear, and there's 5 turns. So there's 2 options you can kind of do to deal with that. So I'm using a friend captain, Zoro Sanji, hoping that they have their Fear up to level 5 on their potential ability, and if they do that, we'll return all 5. If not, I can use this Toki unit here, and that Toki unit will be able to go ahead and give you up to 3 turns of Fear with hers if it's fully maxed out. So between the these two units, you should have a grand total of 5 turns of Fear that you remove, and that will just make things a lot easier. In terms of the Special Bind, the Toki unit takes care of the Special Bind too, which is awesome. The Zoro Sanji will take care of the Threshold and the increased defense. And for these next 3 teams, you do get rewound 1 turn of Special. So we have Nami on all 3 of the next teams to kind of help us with that and make sure that we don't, we can use our specials on stage 3 and don't get stuck with that special reverse there. The other characters here, this guy and Carrot and Izo at the bottom, are all just stat boosters. You can use whoever you want. I am using a Rainbow Captain not a Rainbow Captain, but he boosts 4 different classes here, including Slasher, which most of my team is. So, you know, I get a nice 5.25 buff there. 2 attack, which is pretty awesome. And as I mentioned, almost all these characters are slashers too, so there's a nice synergy there with the Zoro Sanji captain, and should make it pretty easy to just kind of go through Robin Jinbei real quick. The next two teams are super tough. Zoro was probably a little bit easier than Sanji, but still pretty difficult. So what I'm going to do here on the Zoro side is for stage 2 against Zoro, I'm going to end up using this guy right here. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, but basically the benefit here is he's a slasher, he's quick, and even though he's not boosted, he completely removes blindness, and he has a 7-turn cooldown. So because of the buff to slashers over here, it'll go down 2 turns. So I won't even have to really do any stalling here to have this special ready for stage 2, which is great. That will take care of the blindness. I have Sanji to go ahead and take care of the poison, so he'll make the slots matching, which will be great. And then because I have a combination of Robin and Sanji on the team, I can use the friend Captain Luffy super type to clear the special bind on this stage. I can also use the Whitebeard I have there to be able to, with the Whitey base support, he can remove 2 turns of barriers there, which will make the perfect barriers go away. And once he evolves, or I get a copy evolved to the strength version, I can swap him out there, and then he'll automatically do the 2 turns. I won't have to do the Whitey base support. So it's just an option there. On death, you do get the 80% HP cut, which is great because what that will do is that will trigger the friend Captain Luffy special to fire off on stage 3. So he'll clear the burn and the paralysis. The Nami support on Law and Robin will end up helping with that 1-turn special reverse, which is great. And then we can use the Law and Robin special to go ahead and take care of the Rainbow Shield and then pretty easily kill. Once he revives, we'll be able to still use the friend Captain Luffy special because it didn't get used because we were able to get it triggered through the captain ability that's there. So it'll just be nice and easy to go ahead and use the Luffy special on revive to just quickly take care of the paralysis, special bind, and just easily wipe out Zoro. So not too bad of a team. I can also use, if I wanted to, the Shank special on the second stage as well, just to give more boost damage because I have 4 quick characters. He'll end up getting some additional boosts there as well. So should be a pretty straightforward team. I don't see too many concerns here. The key characters, though, are making sure you have Nami for the special cooldown rewind on the last stage, and Whitey Bay here to help get rid of 2 turns of barrier for those perfect barriers that are on stage 2. In terms of the Sanji stage here, this is the one that I might have to tweak a little bit just because I'm initially going to try to see if I can get through this run without having a unit that will clear the recovery bad buffs that are there. There's 2 recovery bad buffs. I'd only list 1 here, but there's actually 2. So the units that can do that, there's not many that are really boosted or boosted to the point where, obviously except Peori because they want you to use that unit. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to get through it without having a unit take care of those. If not, what I might be able to do is use this unit right here, which is the 4 girls there, the Mancherry, Shirishoshi, and Vivi Rebecca that are in that 1 unit, and they can actually take care of those buffs, but the problem is that they have a 12 or 13 turn cooldown, and they would get 5 from the first stage, but you'd still have to stall 8 or 9 turns on that first stage to be able to have that ready for stage 2. I'm assuming they'll have turtles in that first stage, so you should be able to, but if not, we might have to revisit kind of how we do that team. But like I said, I'm going to try to do it and get through it without having to worry about using a unit to remove those 2 special debuffs, or those 2 healing debuffs, but we'll see how that goes. But to get back to the actual gimmicks here, so we have the support on Zoro, who will take care of the poison when we get poisoned. In terms of the increased defense and the threshold damage, Zoro will take care of both of those for us, which is awesome as long as Monkey D. Luffy's on the crew. Because we have them both as the captain and the friend captain, it satisfies that criteria and remove 5 turns of increased defense and threshold for us there. And then what will happen on the last stage is basically we'll use the friend Captain Luffy special. We'll go ahead and remove the paralysis special bind. The Nami support on Luffy will take care of that. And the Luffy special will turn the top and bottom rows to rainbow, so we can use those units to go ahead and attack. We did build this team so that it was mostly built of slasher-free spirits, but these 2 units in the middle will get a little bit of a debuff because they have a driven and cerebral classes, and those get a little bit of a debuff there. But really, the main attacking units are going to be these 4 on the outside here, our main units who will have Rainbow Orb. So with that, hopefully we'll have enough to go ahead and kill. And he does have a Rainbow Orb barrier, so when we use Luffy Special, we'll be able to kind of get through that pretty simply. So that's kind of what the team breakdown looks like. Like I said, it will all depend on if I can get through the healing debuffs that are there without having to have a character to take care of it for me. I think I should be able to based on kind of what I'm seeing right here, but if not, we have to come up with some different ways to stall to be able to get the that dex unit of the girls there ready to be able to use a special to get rid of those buffs. So that's going to wrap it up for me here today. Hopefully these teams kind of helped you. Like I said, the only unit from the New Year's batch that I used was the Toki that was here on the Robin and Jinbei team. Of course, you could replace her with anybody that has Special Bind, as long as you have make sure that 5 turns of fear is maxed out on your friend Captain Zoro Sanji, and then you'll be in good shape. So yeah, those are the teams of what we're going to do for this TM. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, let me know if you want to see any other team breakups done. I know it's in a day, so I have a little bit of time left in case anyone wants to see some different teams that might be out there, but hopefully this will help those of you who might be free to play or don't pull as much to be able to go ahead and at least get some multiplier on this TM so it's not that bad of a grind. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, be kind to each other.